Yay, new ISF. No, God! Dope. Only an IS500, what the hell? So today, we're gonna talk about the IS500, the long-awaited V8 back into the IS line. So stay tuned. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So if you've been watching my channel for a while, you obviously know I'm a IS owner. I have a 2IS and a 1IS. And this week, it looks like the biggest news in the whole IS world has been the release of the IS500. It's the long-awaited release of a V8 back into the IS line. So Lexus released the original ISF with the V8 back in 2008, and that model ran all the way up to 14, and they kind of eliminated that on the 3IS, which is the 2013 till the 2020 version of the IS. So with the recent release of the updated or refined IS line, they decided to release a V8 version. It's been long rumored for a while that they were going to release a V8. We just weren't sure exactly what we were going to get as far as V8 goes. When it was announced on Monday, February 22nd, all the different IS groups, all the IS forums, basically that was all the buzz. So we'll go over some quick highlights about what is so new and what's so different about this IS500. So originally when they released the ISF, I believe it was a 416 horsepower, 371 pound-feet of torque, and that was pretty good back in 2008 on a V8 top-of-the-line sports sedans versus the competition. And Lexus is kind of stuck with that same engine for the last 14 years now. I believe on the IS500, this is probably the last model year of any car that's probably going to get that motor. They've pretty much left that motor unchanged for the last 14 years, other than minor tweaks every year just to get the horsepower up. So the new IS500 is going to share the exact same engine that's coming out of the 21 RCF. So that one's rated at 471 horsepower and 395 pound-feet of torque, which has been a marginal increase over the years. So Lexus has been using this 2UR GSE motor since the original ISF, and they've just been tweaking it every year, probably with tuning and advances in technology just to increase the horsepower. So compare that to the 2020 GSF, which is the last year of the GSF. That one made 467 horsepower and 389 pound-feet of torque. So it was a little bit less than the latest version of this motor. So hopefully they've been just increasing it slowly every year just to get that horsepower bump. So the IS500 is Lexus's new F Sport performance line. It is not a true ISF, and you could tell by just looking at the box. So the IS500 is essentially the IS350 F Sport with a few cosmetic changes on the outside. So what you're going to get is an updated hood with a bulge in it to accommodate the V8. You're going to get quad exhaust tips like the ISF and the RCF. You're going to get a factory chrome delete where they get rid of all the chrome around the window trim and the doors. You get adaptive dampening suspension at all four corners. In addition, you're still going to get 19-inch wheels, but the wheels are going to be inky wheels, which are a little bit lighter than the regular F Sport wheels. What you won't be getting on the IS500 is the F badging, the F fenders, or any other F branding. So basically, you're just getting a IS350 with the V8 in it and a few minor things to accommodate for that V8. So the weight of the IS500 did increase by 143 pounds according to the press release, which accounts for the extra engine parts and a few other things. So the IS500 comes with bigger brakes. It actually comes with the old GS350 F Sport 14-inch two-piece rotors with the aluminum hats and the 4-piston calipers. Those are the exact same ones I actually put on my IS250 last year on that upgrade that I did to replace the original 13-inch IS350 brake that I had on my car. The new IS350 F Sport gets the same 13.1-inch brakes with the 4-piston calipers that Lexus has been using since 2006. So you're getting a little bit bigger brakes, more expensive rotors. So as far as pricing goes, originally when the ISF was released in 2008, its MSRP was like $56,765. But usually once you showed up at the dealer, you had to add like the optional navigation, the optional parking sensors, and some of the other options that it comes with. And it ends up being about $64,000 on the window sticker by the time you got out the door on that car. Between 2008 and 2014, the MSRP went up like $6,000 or $7,000. In 2014, the MSRP was $63,000. $350 for that car. But once you consider all the options, that goes up to about $67,000, $68,000. Rarely you could get that original ISF without all those extra options that jacked up the price. The only way you get the ISF with as minimal options as you can is if you special order it. You can actually get a slick top, you can get it without the Navi, you get without the Mark Levinson and all those other options, but usually they came with all those options if you showed up at the dealer to buy one off the lot. So during this announcement, they didn't release the MSRP or any pricing information yet, and we probably won't know until we get closer to release time. They expect to release this car sometime in July and August for the 2022 model year. I'm suspecting this is going to be a $60,000 car at minimum. If you look at Lexus's pricing, especially on the IS350 F Sport, I think that one's in the mid to upper 40s once you add in all the options. So you figure for everybody that wants that V8 and all that other stuff that comes with that V8, they're gonna end up paying a premium for it. Since it's not a full-on F, I don't think it's gonna command the $65,000 to $70,000 like the RCF or any of their other F products that command that kind of money. As far as buying it goes, for me, it's kind of out of the question. I'm at a point in my life now where I can afford to buy a car like that, but I don't think it financially makes sense to buy a car like that, especially since cars are depreciating assets. These days, I care more about my portfolio and other investments in my life than cars, but I still enjoy working on cars and working on old cars. Obviously, that's why I still have my original 2IS, and I bought a 1IS project because I like to work on old cars. As far as going down to a dealer and picking up a brand new car off the lot, that's something that I have no appetite for these days, especially as you mature and you learn what's more important in life than just cars and new cars and having new stuff all the time. But I think if you're in a point in your life where you can afford to buy this car, I highly encourage you to go buy it. Back in 2008 when the ISF first came out, I was only 1 year into the ownership of my IS250 and I wasn't gonna spend $65,000 on buying that car. But now that I think about it, I should have bought the ISF back in 2008 if I knew I was going to keep it for 14 years like I did my IS250. It would have been a fun car to have, and now that I realize they only made 5,000 or 5,500 of them, it would have been a good collector's item, much better than the IS250 that I've been holding on for the last 13 or 14 years. So if you can afford it and you're willing to work for it and own it and take care of it, I highly encourage you to pick up the new IS500 because that's probably going to be the last normally aspirated V8 that Lexus is going to be releasing. And it would be a fun car to own and drive and possibly hold on to for a long time, especially if they only make a few of them. Anyways, thanks for listening to my rant. If you haven't subscribed to the channel to stay up to date on all my IS content, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, and I'll talk to you guys next time.